What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video. And today we're gonna finally be installing coilovers on the STI. So I can't wait to get this done. And finally that thing over there will be properly stanced. Okay, so let's see what's in the box.
I never know what's in the box.
You want to check it out too?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't watch the green thing. Why are these green stuff?
These are called coilovers.
What are the black stuff? What are the black stuff, Daddy?
Those cover the sleeves. Look at that. That nice
I want to see the longest stretch.
Tein green.
Huh?
Or Tein, whatever you call it. So I'll take all the parts out,
I like this
lay them out,
stuff.
and we'll move on to the
Yeah,
install.
I like this stuff.
Okay, so this is what's inside the package. It was packaged quite nicely. I ended up getting the Street Basis series. You may wonder why, but on my previous car, I was actually running the same set of coilovers and I liked it. I'm not looking to really track the car, and it's a good street coilover for the simplicity of it. The only downfall, it doesn't come with the top hats for the fronts, so I'll have to reuse my OEM. I have a spring compressor, so it's not a big problem to get them off, but I'd say that's probably the most pain in the ass part of the install. Everything else looks straightforward. Damn, love the green.
Can you help me pump this?
All right, guys. So the first step of the installation is pretty obvious, right? Jack the car up. Let's get those wheels off. I got my little helper buddy here helping me out. It'll work, Mason. Perfect. Okay, so now that you get the wheels off, it's pretty straightforward, the installation, to be honest. You're gonna take out this bolt here. There's another one right here. Undo this clip. Undo this clip. And then you have the 3 on the top pillar. Once you get that down, you're able to push this down a little bit, and then the suspension will pop right out. I ended up putting a bit of WD-40 just to kind of loosen the job up. I'm hoping nothing is really seized. That's probably the biggest challenge on any install, is seized bolts, but I got a handy breaker bar if needed. So once you take the suspension out, you're gonna have to use a spring compressor to get rid of this top hat, because we're gonna be reusing it. Most aftermarket coilovers will come with this piece, so you can just leave this hole and just toss it, but in my case, because I got the Basis series, I have to actually reuse this piece. So what you're gonna do, if you haven't used spring compressors before, you latch one end here. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this and put it on here. Then I'm gonna end up tightening this, which will compress the spring. Then I'll put the other side on. It will compress the spring. And then I'll take off this nut. And that will relieve the top hat. If you didn't use a spring compressor, what happened is this thing would fire out like a friggin' bullet and can really hurt somebody. So that's why the spring compressor is required, safety. And once you finish taking this off, you can slowly uncompress the spring and the spring will pop out. So we'll get to it. So here's the difference of the stock piece with the new. So just make sure You put the right one in the right spot, right? So you can see these look aligned. This is the passenger side. And then here's the difference with the spring itself. So to get this installed, it's pretty straightforward. So I have these instructions here. There it is. So just gonna follow those steps, and there you see there's the upper mount OEM piece. So we'll follow that. Alright guys, so before I actually assemble the whole coilover, what I like to do, and I've always done this and it's been fine and it's worked well, is I actually grease these rings up so that it makes it easier for these to turn. Especially because I'm from Canada, the corrosion, the salt, just dirt in general get in here and it makes it difficult to turn the actual rings. This grease here is just a generic wheel bearing lubricant. It's waterproof. It's good stuff. So I just picked this up in my local hardware store. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is take a toothbrush and brush this on over here all around, and then I'll assemble the coilover and I'll put it back on the car. Alright, so because I'm doing this install myself, I actually need a mini jack to help bring the hub up and line everything up. Wasn't too bad, but just take your time. And then yeah, I'm gonna punch everything through, line it all up. And then we move on to tightening it all up, so. Alright guys, so it's actually later in the evening. I ended up stopping the install of the car. Had a bunch of yard work to do, but the kids are in bed, so now I'm back at it. So I ended up doing the one side right here. Everything looking nice. Everything fits perfectly. I'm not too sure about the... let's fix this. I'm not too sure about the ride height right now, to be honest. I don't know how this is gonna sit, but we'll play with it. So I'm gonna end up bringing this down and I'll tighten the coils after. So let's move on to the driver's side now and the same process. Move this bolt, punch this out, punch that out, take this off with a 12 mil, take that side off with a 12 mil, and then the 3 up here. So let's do it. Alright guys, so both fronts are done, and now I'm just gonna play with the adjustments. So I'm gonna probably have both fronts about an inch from the bottom. And yeah, we'll start with that and adjust from there. So I'll keep, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and chain, 5. So 5 lines, it's about 1 inch. So give or take. So I'll do that on the other side. And then we'll throw on the wheels. What I didn't mention was I ended up getting a pair of used rims, pretty cheap. Boom. So I think the white's gonna really make the blue pop. So I'm excited to put these on. We'll see how everything sits once it's all done. And I just wanna make sure that the wheels sit flush. I'm not looking for a tuck, but I also don't wanna have a 2-finger wheel gap. So let's slap these bad boys on, play with the final adjustments, and then lower the car. All right guys, so moving on to the rears. You're gonna have to take your trunk liner out to get access to the 3 bolts. Well, 2 bolts up here, 1, and there's a second one back there. And I'll show you guys in the bottom what you have to remove. All I gotta say is this friggin' tool right here is a lifesaver. I don't know if you remember in my fog light install, I was using 2 flatheads to pry off all these plastic clips, but man, this tool makes it a breeze. Like, check this out. Check this out. So you see that? This is one-handed. Hold up. Hold up. There it is. Just like that. So invest in one of these, especially if you own a Japanese car, because these fucking clips are a pain in the ass. So anyways, I'm gonna pop out the clips on this side, pull this out, and then we'll go to the bottom of the car. All right, so once you get the wheel off, aside from the 2 bolts in the trunk, you're gonna wanna loosen these 3 right here. Take these off. Then what's gonna happen is this piece, it will pull down. And then you can, once you loosen the top as well, the strut and spring will come out. So I'm hoping the rear is pretty straightforward. Looks easy enough. So let's get to it. All right guys, so once you get the nut off, you're gonna do the same as the front. You're just going to put a screwdriver here and just punch it through. Sorry about that. Yes, there's one. You heard that. And then you can see the second one is right there, right? So let me just adjust the camera. So same thing. You're gonna hammer it through. And that one just fell off pretty easy. So as you can see, this is a bit more flexible now. I want to loosen up the top piece, top 2 bolts, and see if it can squeeze this out with just these 2. I haven't removed this one yet over here. This one, that's the 3rd one, but we'll see. If I have to, then I will. If not, I'll live with it. All right. So I actually had to end up removing the last one over there, but once that's out, I was able to push this down and then take the whole suspension out. So this is how the rears look like. Nothing special. I believe I have to reuse this top hat again. So, same exercise as the fronts. Spring compressors, take the top nut off, pop this hat off, and then yeah, should be good to go. Alright guys, so I kind of lost my voice, but I got the rears off finally. These are the top hats. Just a little piece of advice. Make sure you get a wrench like this so that you can put this over the bolt. And then you have to fit an Allen key actually on top of the shock. I couldn't loosen up the rear. It kept, the whole shock assembly kept spinning with the bolt. So I had to like hold it with an Allen key with a set of pliers and then twist it off. It took me a while to kind of figure it out because I couldn't find this ratchet for the life of me. Finally found it, and shit, it was way easier. And always remember, use a spring compressor. So now that I got these off, just gonna look at the instructions. Pretty straightforward. Put the Tein assembly together, put the top mount on, screw the nut on top, and then just reverse install. So I'm gonna put the pieces through the trunk, the top hat. I'm gonna screw these bolts in first, loosely, and then those 3 bolts on the bottom of the lower control arm, I'm gonna put those in as well. And then we should be good to go. All right, guys, so it's the next day. My throat still feels like shit, but installation is complete. I also threw on some new wheels. Well, you know what? I'll let you guys take a look, but I am stoked. The settings for the coilovers, I didn't have to adjust them after I set it the first time. I was happy with the height. The fronts are 5 rings from the bottom and the rear is 6. And yeah, it just looks sick. So take a look.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky. Weezer's in the back, sipping yak, y'all, what's up? Girls, rub on your titties. Yeah, I said it, rub on your titties. New York City gritty committee, pity the fool that act shitty in the midst of the calm, the witty. Y'all know the name. Pharoahe fucking Monch, ain't a damn thing changed. You all up in your range of shit, inebriated. Straight from your original plan, you deviated. I alleviated the pain with long-term goals. Slip my underground loop without the gold. You sold platinum around the world, I sold wood in the hood. But when I'm in the street and shit, it's all good. Assume the motivated boom, control the game like boom. Raider rock clock, dollars flip, tips like a waiter.
All right, guys, as you can see, I'm super excited how this turned out. Just loving it. Yeah, I apologize the car isn't washed, but it just looks so sick. It just gives it such a beefy, sportier look. And I'm very curious to see how the ride feels. I'll do an update in a couple weeks after driving around, but yeah, as you can see, I threw on some wheels, threw on a lip kit, and lowered it. I wanted to make sure I did all 3 mods at the same time because I'm not a fan of cars that are with aftermarket wheels and it looks like they sit on stilts. You know what I mean? So, and same with the lip kit. There's no point if your car isn't stanced properly, in my opinion. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, like, comment, follow my shit. Stay tuned for more mods. Still got some more coming, but stay tuned. But yeah, I am completely happy with how this turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day.